this is Michelle, and I'm here to do your December 2019 tarot reading. I'm using the CBD Tarot de Marseille by Dr. Yov Ben Dov, and I'm also going to pull a saint card for you from The Voices of Saints by Los Scarabea. All right, so this is going to be a Celtic cross spread for the sign of Aquarius in December, and I feel that the cards are ready for you. All right, Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck. We'll see if that comes back into play if I think about it later. Well, we have the Tower coming in, all right. And the King of Cups. All right, that's interesting. I feel really actually just kind of right off the top that for some Aquarius people in the month of December and January, it's the holidays. And we're going to be mingling with a lot of people that we don't typically see all the time. And on the one hand, when we think of you, Aquarius, we think of actually being in a large crowd as being actually pretty comfortable for you. In other words, if you're in an area where there are just a lot of people around, but maybe you don't even know them very well, I'm going to say that for some of you, that's a comfortable situation. But it could be another thing if there are a lot of people coming into life that are, for example, family members, okay, it's the holidays, and suddenly that, I want to say it can create a little bit of chaos. Let me say that. Now, for some of you, this is going to be fine. You're going to be able to just handle this. It's just not going to be a problem whatsoever. But others of you, it's going to, I think you're just going to feel the shift, you know, that shift of energy. And let me say this too. I think that some of you are potentially just very sensitive to energy anyway. And in that case, when somebody new comes into the picture, you know, you can feel it right down to your core, right? And so that's the kind of situation I see that's going on. Let's see what else the cards bring in, but I might talk a little bit more about that as well. Well, we have the Knight of Cups coming in. Beautiful to see no matter where it is in the spread. And the Six of Swords. All right. And so I'm going to say this, for some of you, this is suggesting that you have just been so patient with people, so very patient, very understanding. I feel that perhaps there might be even some people that have actually taken advantage of you because of that. For example, they know that you will listen, let's say, and they'll sort of, you know, bend your ear and is that the term? Okay. Sometimes these idioms come to me and I'm like, wow, is that it? Or does that make sense? But I can see that kind of scenario, let me say. For some reason, that is what is coming through to me. I think also some of you are waiting for some good news to come in. Possibly there have been some challenges in life that have put you in a situation where you've had to be very patient and wait. Let's say you've had to sort of wait for some developments to come about. You've been waiting for some news to come in. The cards are saying, you know, good for you, Aquarius. You have really sat this out. And what I mean by that is you have really put in the time to wait for things to develop. That's what I mean by that. All right. And now we have the Knight of Swords coming in. All right. Two knights. And the Hermit. Okay. This is suggesting to me, Aquarius, that I think that you were on a mission of some sort, or it could have been earlier in the year. I think that you are, I want to say, on some sort of a mission in life as well, okay? And with the holidays coming in, it can sort of feel like the mission gets a little disrupted. And so what happens is there's a part of you that can suddenly want to kind of get away from everybody. It's like two sides of this coin. There's one side of you that wants to be around a lot of people, let's say, be around them and feel comfortable in that environment. But if it gets to the point where it's a disruption, and again, that can depend on the kind of people that are around you, then you may want to take some time out to be alone again. Here's what I'm going to say about that. I'm really happy to see the Hermit coming in. Very happy, because what that suggests to me is that if things feel a little topsy-turvy in December, like, oh my goodness, my routine has all been upset and there's, all this stuff is going on, just to know that, things are going to get right back into normalcy very soon. Isn't that just how it is in December and January for so many of us? Everything kind of shifts and changes, but before long, we're back into our groove again, and a more peaceful sort of environment. I hope this is making sense, Aquarius. That's what I'm picking up from the cards. It's a little combination, I will say, of wanting to be around the people, but then at the same time reaching a certain point where it's like, okay, I've had enough of that and that scene, and now I want to be just with myself now. Now we have the Emperor coming in. Beautiful to see in this position, telling me this message is coming in that you're in charge. Okay, you're in charge. So if it does feel like, everything is kind of turned upside down or something in December, you're in charge. I'm hearing this, that you can take a break anytime you want, right? It's up to you. I'm getting this image of, for example, like stepping out of the dining room. I don't know why that's okay. It's a little cliche for the holidays, but just like saying, I'm getting out here. I'm stepping out and I'm just going to go out on the deck, right? Or the porch where I can get a breath of fresh air and just enjoy myself here for a second. So I don't know why that's coming up to me, but that's the picture that I'm getting is like, what? You're in charge. You're in charge. You can get up, you can walk away if you want, you can get back into it if you want. It's whatever feels good to you. Okay, and the Six of Rods, okay, now that's very interesting. 2 6s, okay, so that is suggesting even more. It's underscoring the idea that you may be called to have some patience in over the holidays regarding social situations. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up from the 6. It's just kind of like a support. It's like doubling down and saying, oh yes, that's what the reading is saying. Now let's see. Well, it's the 6 of coins. Okay, too bad we're not playing poker, right? Because I guess, I don't know, what do you say when you have double down, triple down? I don't know. Okay, so here we have the 6 of coins coming in. For some of you, though, I think there's a different message with that. Certainly patience is coming to the fore. You've been very persistent. You've been waiting for a long time for some developments to come out. For some of you, this is kind of a different topic, but it might also have to do with your finances. You've been very patient and persistent about getting something together that has to do with your financial life. All right, and so good for you. Good for you. You've kept it up. You also, Aquarius, fixed sign, right? You're a sign that can do this. You can stick to it. You can stick it out. You're not going to quit. And here's the Ace of Coins coming in. How lovely to see. This is, so this is telling me that there's a little ways to go. There's a little ways to go yet with this goal that you have in mind. Again, switching topics a little bit into the financial realm, but there's a little ways to go, but you're going to get there. And it really ties in with the idea of being that, that fixed Taurus energy that is simply not, I'm hearing this, that you're not going to take no for an answer. You're not going to take no for an answer. You're going to keep going until you get the yes. And that is going to bring you to this finish line, this brand new start. This is not saying, oh, you're going to have a brand new start. Like you're going to have a brand new start right in January, brand new start. I mean, well, it could be in January, but what I'm really picking up more is no, you're in process, you're sticking it out, and because you're going to stick this out, that new fresh beginning is going to come in. It might feel like almost like a break of sorts, like, wow, okay, I finally got a break here. I'm really kind of drawn towards this image here. I want to say for some Aquarius people, this financial venture has to do with something that you're actually quite passionate about and that your heart is completely 100% you're in this thing. That's what I'm seeing. The Tarot de Marseille is interesting for this reason. It looks very simplistic, but at the same time, there are little details that pop out and have messages. And I'm just going to point this out as an example. That we have this little, like a budding flower, or almost looks like a strawberry, and it's red here, as are these two, but this little one here doesn't have color in it yet. It's white. Can you see that? And it's the interesting thing about this deck is it kind of works that way. The simplicity of the deck allows your mind, when you are in this sort of channeling meditative state that we are in when we are reading cards, allows you to suddenly pick up on something like this and receive a message. Boy, I went on forever about that, but I thought you might find that interesting. What I'm picking up from this is really actually just confirmation about what I just stated. You're in process. I think you're more than halfway there. Okay, you're more than halfway there, which is represented by the 6 here. Okay, you're more than halfway. This is like 75%, let's say 75%. There's a quarter left here. So you're more than halfway there. There's just a little extra ways to go, and you're not going to quit. All right, Aquarius, for all the signs this month, my readings went a little bit longer this month than last month, but I've been pulling 3 additional cards as a final final message, maybe a word of encouragement, and then we're going to pick the Saint card. Actually, to tell you the truth, I don't know how I made those readings so short last month. They usually run longer. Give me some feedback on that. Maybe some of you will. Is it okay to run this long? Let me know. I'm going to try to make them shorter, but sometimes it doesn't happen, see, because I'm rambling. Okay, let's go. 3 more cards. 3 more cards for our Aquarius friends. We're going to do a cut on this. What I have found, Aquarius, with these little extra 3 cards, at least invariably up to this point, is we always seem to get an important last second message. We have the Wheel of Fortune, okay, major arcana. The Fool, oh my goodness. And the 7 of Swords. All right, how many 7s is that? Okay, or no, we have 6s. Okay, 3 6s. All right, I just had to check. All right. Oh no. Okay, I just gave now that one away. I can't. What can I do now? We have the Death card on the bottom. I'm gonna have to bring that in. Boy, look at these cards, Aquarius. I believe that the Wheel is basically, again, we're getting some confirmation here. There's a process going on. I believe that there are finances involved for some of you. That's sort of a different read than the current holiday madness kind of reading or the social stuff. This really has to do more with these bigger goals. There can be a little bit of a sense, I think, that at times it's a little bit of a crapshoot. I'm going to say that. That has to do with the 7 as well. And that can make it a little bit difficult when you are having to be patient and stick it out. Okay, so you're being patient, you're sticking it out. Things don't feel exactly stable. You're trying to reach a resolution right now, but there can be a little uncertainty that creeps in. The reading is saying absolutely not to worry one bit, because here's the thing, a fixed Aquarius, you're not going to quit. You're going to continue on until you get exactly where you need to be. What I love about seeing the Fool here as well is that it tells me that you have been willing to take some risks, and you might be willing to take more risks in the future going into 2020 in order to reach your goal. What do I mean by risks? I mean, I don't mean anything like risky, like, you know, that would bring any kind of harm to you. I don't mean that. But what I'm saying is that risks is that I feel that you're going to be willing to put yourself in a situation maybe where you're a little bit uncomfortable. Let me put it that way. Okay, so put yourself, kind of get out of your comfort zone, and that can also bring about the feeling of uncertainty that we're seeing in the 7. But all in all, it's going to get you to your target. All right, so now I am going to bring in your Saint card, Aquarius. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness. All right. You've got the heavy hitter, Aquarius. I'm so happy to see this for you. Oh my goodness. Look at the 6s. 2 6s. Goodness gracious. And we have the 6s all in your reading. It is Saint Michael the Archangel. Now, I have to tell you, I don't know a lot about these saints. I really don't know the stories behind them. And so that's one reason why I'm doing this, is I am going to be looking up all the saints that I pulled for this month. But what an absolutely beautiful card. This is Satan here, right? Okay, and you know, the Archangel Michael is just, this is no problem, okay? That's what I'm trying to spit out. That's what I'm trying to say. This is no problem for Saint Michael the Archangel. I'm so happy to see that this came up for you, Aquarius. You might find, I don't know, maybe you meditate or have certain spirit guides or certain ways that you pray or connect to spirit world, but you might want to pray or meditate on Saint Michael in the month of December. And I know, being one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful archangel, that the angel is there to be with you in the month of December, to protect you. Let's go ahead and read the information. There's just a little bit on the Archangel. Okay. Archangel of the Apocalypse. All right. So that would be the place, I suppose, in the Bible where the angel comes in. As again, as I mentioned, I don't know that much about the stories. Here's what it says here. Protects merchants who use scales. Merchants who use scales. That kind of brings about a sense of justice, doesn't it, to mine? Scales, all right? So for some of you, that might have some meaning, whether or not you are in business as a merchant, or whether you are weighing things out in some way, evening things out, perhaps. You might be in a position where you're making decisions for people as well. And here's the information. This card represents skill and manual dexterity, creativity, and inventiveness. Oh my goodness. Okay, dexterity, using the hands, all right, and the physical body, so skill in that way, creativity, the arts, any kind of art, and inventiveness. So a very strong read for any of the Aquarius people out there that are artistic, creative, doing something with the hands. I highly recommend connecting with St. Michael the Archangel in December. Aquarius, I'm so happy to see this reading for you. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it's a pleasure and a privilege to read for you. If you enjoyed this reading or found it helpful, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps the channel so very much. And I'll see you next time.